What up, y'all? It's your man, Yes, the Hermit Star, back again with another video, and I'm here to do the month's read for the sign of Pisces, a February reading for the sign of Pisces. I know February is almost up, but hey, this is your message from now until the end of February. Take it as it resonates per usual. Also, of course, you know, if this is a message that you find is relevant to you for next month and going forward, it's applicable. You know, that's how you know it's applicable for you. It's just the read that I'm doing for the month because I'm trying to, you know, so far so good this year, you know, trying to do at least one read per sign each month. Although I believe last month I gave y'all 2 reads. That was accidental, by the way, but shout out to y'all because I know it's Pisces season, so happy birthday to any Pisces out there. Maybe if your birthday has passed or hasn't passed, shout out to y'all, you know. Get your tarot here, and then we'll start off with the tarot, and then we go into the oracle next. Forgive me if I seem a bit bleh. It took me so long to do your read and do Aquarius's reads as well because I am still coming down. I'm still recovering, and I'm in the better half, let's just say, of the recovery stage of a cold, but I'm still in that, you know, daze mode. Also, it's dark as heck up in here because I'm in New England, for probably someone who may or may not know. So yeah, we got hit with the storm, and my windows are literally covered with snow. You know, it's crazy out. So I can't turn on the light, but personally, it's still too early for me to turn on some artificial light. So hopefully you will be able to see these cards. Yeah, you know, you got a interesting spread so far with the tarot here. We start off with the Lovers here, which is a good sign, but then right after the Lovers instantly is the Four of Wands in reverse, you know, which is like a divorce happening, right? Based on those 2 cards, it's like you are in one relationship and maybe leaving one for another, or maybe, you know, you're in this relationship and it's oddly in a situation where it's like you're feeling like things are going well, but things are not perfect, in a way where you're not necessarily feeling welcomed, but you're sticking within this relationship because maybe you're being provided something that you don't want to provide for yourself, or you feel as though you can't provide for yourself, or you can't find somewhere else. And it's why you're probably staying within that relationship. I don't always get the Lovers and the Four of Wands, you know, together, whether it's be one of them reverse or whatever. I don't always get that. So I'm going to clarify really what's you know, that about. And as I do, of course, the Moon is here in reverse though. So definitely this is you being frustrated because I think you're not necessarily knowing like how your partner is feeling. I think this is a love reading for the sign of Pisces. I don't know how your Valentine's Day was, but I get the feeling that it didn't go as ideal as, you know, someone would want Valentine's Day to be. Or maybe something happened on Valentine's Day. This is just, you know, what's coming to mind. Has something happened between you and your partner on Valentine's Day, and it really has you thinking now about the relationship or thinking about them. yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there for now in regards to the lovers, the Four of Wands in reverse, and the Moon in reverse. After the Four of Wands in reverse, you have the Two of Wands in reverse as well. Someone who is short-sighted, overly cautious as well. I do think the reason why the lovers showed up upright here is because I do believe you are probably making a big deal out of something that isn't necessarily, I don't want to say it isn't a big deal, but I do believe that you are making a big deal out of something that really, sorry about that, doesn't need to be made into like a huge deal, right? um I see a situation where it maybe was a situation in the past where your partner probably has deceived you. um or yeah, I think it's a situation where your those rings could, yeah, they're notifications, but they could be just also confirmations, who knows. But I see a situation where, again, your partner probably cheated. I'm gonna just say, like, your partner cheated in the past. You decided to stay with them, and you're still holding that over their head today. But from what I'm seeing with the cards here, we'll get into it. They're not cheating now, or at least you're making this past issue a current day issue, and it's not a current day issue. That's how I'm gonna put it. Even though it's pretty much saying the same thing, they're not cheating now. And I feel like I did a reading like this before for somebody. I don't think it was you, but I think it's the same type of read I did for somebody. You might have that other sign in your chart, and that might be your sun sign maybe, and you're just watching now for your wherever Pisces is in your chart. Who knows, right? But that's the vibe I'm getting with these cards that I just laid out for you right now. Again, I'll pick them up. You have, like I said, the lovers, boom, boom, and then, like, that's the vibe I'm getting here. You put this right in between these two. All right. So again, you were probably with somebody who cheated on you in the past, and you're struggling to, although you're still with them, you're struggling to forgive them for that, or you're struggling to trust them for that. After the Two of Wands, we do have the Page of Cups. I wish people would understand that if, okay, let me let me stick to your reading. My bad, y'all. This is someone who is, very much a curious, individual. Someone who also discovers is surprised, like discovers a surprise, right? Or is, destined to get a surprise, right? And I think that surprise could be, again, probably your partner actually being truthful. It's a surprise to you because you're like, you probably had it out in your mind. You swore, and you probably had other people in your ear too. To be honest with you, I don't see other people here. We'll see what's what, because I do want to pull some more. But I think you're going to be surprised at figuring out or finding out that what you think is true isn't necessarily true at all. So be mindful about that. That could be, again, about your partner. Maybe not your partner not being as much of a hoe they were in the past. It could be something else you might find surprising about them. But the Seven of Swords in reverse, is someone being honest, someone coming clean, someone having remorse. And I think this is your partner. Now, you could say, well, maybe they're admitting to cheating. Maybe they're admitting to, and the reason why I say that, I could be wrong, of course. This is my interpretation, making this abundantly clear. But the reason as to why I say that I don't think it's them necessarily admitting to cheating, it's them still having that remorse, that regret for what they did in the past, is because once again, the Lover's card showed up upright. And usually when that card is upright, like it's grounds for a strong loving relationship. Like it's meant to happen, And I think that, again, you have the potential to ruin something that you I don't think you want to ruin per se, but again, I understand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy to get over or forgive a cheater. We've been there. I understand where you are right now, Pisces. But again, remember, this showed up in reverse. And I think your partner has been doing things to try to prove to you over the years that they have learned from that bad decision, and they are trying to become a new person. They want to be a better person. Next, after, you have the Star in reverse. Now, I want to clarify this as well, because I want to clarify to see if this is for you or your partner. The reason why I believe that the Star could also represent your partner in reverse is because maybe they're feeling like a bit discouraged, and you constantly accusing them of cheating and infidelity and wrongdoing and stuff, right? But then there's the obvious side where this is you, and I'm covering it up because nudity, right? But there's the obvious side where obviously you're not feeling as confident as you probably would hope that you would want to feel. I'm not going to clarify the Star anymore. I'm kind of thinking it is you more so than it is your partner now that I'm speaking about it out loud, saying my thoughts out loud. You're not feeling confident as you want to, obviously. And I think instead of just admitting that you're just not feeling confident within yourself, within your partnership right now, it's easier to blame your partner even if they did cheat in the past. It's easy to say, well, I don't feel confident because of what you did in the past. And again, I get the vibe that they're trying. They've been trying to show you that they're a better person. And you can't, for whatever reason, can't seem to let that go. Maybe it's a situation where you saw you saw what the other person looked like, and now you're feeling insecure about your looks, right? I'm not going to clarify the Star, but I am going to ask, what can Pisces do to move forward from this insecurity? Because I want to help y'all out, of course, especially with your birthday season. Oof. I say oof, but I do love this card. The Tower showed up. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, as always, Pisces, I say this to all the signs. You're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Some might see the Tower and then think that, okay, then I'm just going to leave this individual. If that's what you feel is the best decision, go ahead. Just a constant reminder again before you do that. Again, you have the Lovers here that showed up. Upright. Not reversed. Upright. That's peace and harmony. So if you want to get away from that, then again, your choice, but don't be the person that then cries about not having peace and harmony or love life, but you left the peace and harmony that you had because of, some emotional turmoil that's happening right now. It's like a situation where it's like when things get hard, you now all of a sudden want to quit and leave and all this other stuff. Where I do see the Tower being relevant is, I do think that there is, within that star in reverse, there is a part of you that is super insecure in general. Like, even if your partner never cheated, you are just the type of individual that is just insecure. And I'm not saying these things to be insulting to make you feel bad about that. I'm simply just calling it how I see it, to be honest with you. I think you're just an insecure individual, and that Tower is here not to tell you necessarily to leave your relationship in order for you to feel better. Although, again, you do what you want to do. It is here to tell you that your insecure ways, sure, your partner probably didn't, them cheating on you didn't help out at all. It probably made that situation, your insecurity, worse. I'll give you that. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that it seems as though you are an insecure person in general. And if you really truly want to be happy in all facets of life, within your relationship, within yourself, you're going to have to work towards looking at that star within you and fighting against those insecurities rather than using them as a crutch and as an excuse as to why you pretty much are like a negative Nancy in this situation here. Excuse my lack of better wording here. I am not trying to insult you. I'm just saying what's coming to mind. And for brevity's sake, I'm probably gonna use terminology that might sound offensive, but I swear I'm not trying to offend you. Any last messages for the sign of Pisces? Any last messages for the sign of Pisces? We have two cards that showed up here. We have your first card is the King of Swords, someone who is very much disciplined, someone who moves with integrity as well, which is great to see. But then after that, we have the Magician in reverse, wasted potential, manipulation, and all this stuff. You might be saying, that sounds like my partner. If you truly have a terrible individual, then by all means leave them. But again, I think that the King of Swords and the Magician in reverse, every card in this spread except for the Seven of Swords in reverse, I believe is representative of you. And I think that a part of you, because with that King of Swords, and even with that Page of Cups, I think the surprise isn't necessarily, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think the surprise is necessarily, or the desire to be surprised isn't necessarily like you being surprised that your partner is keeping their word. That could be part of it. It could be like you're surprised that you actually feel different, are different than the person that you probably have told yourself that you're gonna be permanently this insecure individual. And that's crazy because Pisces aren't usually, not saying because y'all are not usually insecure people that there isn't times where you can't be, that you aren't insecure. But I'm like, you're missing the magic within you, honestly, and you're missing the star within you. Both of them showed up in reverse for a reason, because I think that you're allowing that lower vibration, that lower side of you to take over, those negative thoughts to take over. But if you actually put in the work, to get better, to feel better, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how confident you are, how you show up in your life, how, probably things in general, not even just within your relationship, but just in life in general, will then start to turn in your favor because of your positive, radiant attitude. So that's what I have for you as far as the tarot goes. We're about to get into the oracle, but before I choose a card, I would like to remind you to please hit that like, comment, share, and subscribe. Now I feel like turning on the light, so I'm a shuffle, and then you know what? Whatever. Let's just do it now. Get it over with. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we here. A little bit of light in this room. And your card today is... I'm glad I turned on the light because I probably wouldn't be able to see it when I was sitting in the dark. Learning secrets. I knew they were cheating. Let's hold off. Stay open-minded and receptive as you uncover hidden truths and embrace the lessons they offer. Again, I don't think this is about your partner. I think this is about you. This is much deeper than your partner. Although, again, I'm not caping for cheaters, but someone did something in the past, and they're going through their own journey of, probably self-forgiveness and all this other stuff. But you're not helping them by constantly reminding them about their past, and you're not helping yourself by constantly being in this negative, woe is me type energy. What's the point of doing all of that and keeping them in the first place? Why'd you even stay in this relationship if that's the case? So I think learning the secrets, you're learning things about yourself, or at least you're being guided to learn things about yourself that, again, you probably did not know simply because you were in a specific state of mind and you told yourself that that is the state of mind that you're going to be in, that is the safe state of mind, and all it has been bringing is a bunch of uncertainty, insecurity, and a bunch of low vibrational emotions of that nature. But again, at the end of the day, you can choose however you want to show up. You can choose whatever you want to do. I'm just here to read the cards and to hopefully give you the best message that I can give you. That's what I have for you for the month of February. From now until the end of February. Again, take it as it resonates, even if it is in March or whenever this shows up throughout the year. I want to thank you for trusting me for being your intuitive reader for today, or at least one of your intuitive readers for today. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Once again, until next time, until next read, you'll see me when you see me, God willing. Take care.